Now, the rest of the story.
Welcome back to the rest of the story. Dad just got done scraping up the barnyard for the cows up at Rockville, and well, there was a lot more of that mucky stuff, not completely just the solid bed pack stuff where you got more of the fodder and whatnot. And well, the machine's not that old, so we're trying to get all the manure and stuff off the side because it was flinging it up across the side of the machine. So yes, we do buy machines to use them, but of course you want them to keep their value as long as possible. I'm going over the 566 baler and I'm looking for problems. Sounds kind of ominous, like I'm looking to start a fight, but sometimes I guess you just have to stir things up. First and foremost, probably a given is going through and doing the teeth, but I'm going to say it's largely for how we run this baler anymore compared to how we ran the 535 in my grandpa's. First and foremost, the teeth on these, I believe, are called the mega wide pickup teeth. They're square. They're a lot sturdier. They're not, you really can't bend them as much. I actually got a loose tooth there. So the biggest thing I got to do is go through and change any teeth that it needs. Now, I am going to be a bit forgiving, not super forgiving, but I don't go through and change every single tooth just because there's a tooth missing. I mean, like point and case. This is a paired set, so this one's still good, but this one's missing. This one's still good, but that side is missing off of it, or vice versa, this one. I might go through and change one of them because, see this, with teeth, they kind of look like that, where you got the spring between the two, and then these are your actual teeth that do the work. Well, like this one, its other half is gone, but I can look down there and I can see that this tooth is clearly worn and looks like it's been through a midlife crisis. So I'm going to go through and replace that one, and then by doing that, I'll let that one slide. I'm not going to go where I have every other tooth missing. I do try to keep it pretty well solid, largely just because I'm picking up grassy material. First cut is fine. Second and third cut, you can get that finer material, and it likes to fall through the teeth. So running a full set of teeth is huge. Kind of a good example right here. You can see this one is still square on the edges, brand new, versus, see this one? Actually, both these, that's newer. This one, has probably been through a divorce or two, and you can see it's missing some of that edginess anymore. These pickups are known, which we didn't know that when we bought it, positive finding. But on the ends here, these outer teeth are actually heavier. They're built heavier springs. They're actually individual teeth that I have to go through and replace. I'm missing a bunch over here, and we don't mind that because for some reason I cannot keep this band in to save my life. I've gone through over $200 worth of bands, mounting them every which ways and whatnot, and it doesn't work. Turns out the baler works fine without it, so be it. You can see I got a missing tooth right here, and luckily enough I have a bunch of teeth in the parts bin already waiting to be used. So this isn't something I got to go to the local dealer. Who am I kidding? I'm going to call my buddy up and tell him to bring home a bunch of pickup teeth. It's always a good feeling, especially after going through and doing corn fodder, which is the last thing we did with this thing. And if you're going to lose teeth, corn fodder is what's going to do it. It's hard. It's just rough on the whole machine. The belts show that also. I know it's my cell phone, but I think the quality isn't terrible. At least I didn't think so. Oh, I got my Nebo light. So you see that right there? that whole belt's coming out. If I can't pull the lace pin out, I'll just take a hacksaw. I'll cut this belt off, rip it out, put a new one in. I have two belts that were actually, let's say, repurposed, but they were cut back and had a splice put in them. The one was a long belt we cut down to a short belt. And for those of you who wonder if I still use the lights that Herschel sent me, yeah, I use this thing a lot. Rechargeable and everything. I guess they don't, Nebo doesn't get anything from me saying that, but that's really handy, especially for planting. I can charge it with USB, and it's part of my, list of necessities that I need in the tractor when I'm planting and whatnot. Especially if I'm gonna be planting half the night, having a reliable light in the cab is gonna be huge. Planter is 99% done. All that's left to do on it, we're going to take it out, drop it in the ground, and just make sure nothing falls off. The 4640 has the auto steer system in it, the new system. We need to go calibrate that. Should be able to do that. I sincerely hope we can do that with it being hooked to the planter without too much of an issue, just because I really don't want to have to go and hook all of that. And this belt is going to get replaced. It's been, it had this damage here since last year. It's the whole length of the belt, so this one is just going to get thrown in the trash. I got a hole in it right here I can get my finger through. That is a disaster waiting to happen. It's just going to finish ripping through. Same thing with that one. That one's just going to keep going around and ripping through. And I had, I believe, a third one. See, and we got all this surface rust right here. This baler hasn't seen any moisture. I actually went through and hit it with the air hose, got all the dirt and dust and whatnot off of it. And so the thing that's bugging me is I can go through and cut this little piece of rubber out, but the edges are starting to, I don't know if the corn fodder did that or what. Making grass and hay is relatively easy on them, but my concern with this is that is giving, that is giving the net wrap something to catch on as we are trying to get net wrap on the bale. In the middle, I probably wouldn't care too much, but on the edges, you got the end of the rolls here, and if this is unnecessarily dragging the net wrap along with it rather than dumping it onto the bale, it could give me a nightmare with the end of these rolls. So I think I got 3 belts on here I need to replace for sure, and then I got a bunch of the laces, all of the laces ideally, I gotta go through and change. As far as bearings, I didn't hear anything squeaking or squawking. I'm gonna go through on the pickup, the bearings that run on the cam. I want to pull 1 or 2 of those out and check them. What was it, $45 a piece? That might be for the new baler, I think. It's $30 or $40 a piece for each one of those bearings, and when you have 5 on each side, that adds up really quick. So just going through and examining everything the best we can. The roller chains, I think these guys on this side are going to get replaced for sure. I'm going to check the grease and this grease. Well, the oil in the gearbox back there. That was an expensive fix. Once we get the spring tensioner, doodad, I call it about 30 different things on it. And this is a good example, a better view of what needs to be replaced on this. Isn't going to take much. I'm actually going to do it with a crescent wrench, or not crescent wrench, combination wrench, because the impact I think is part of what gave me the headaches. But there's bushings in here. I got all 6 bushings for each side, but if these are tightened too tight, like they probably were when we had the cylinder, what in the world? Looks like we got a splice up there giving issues too. The bushing's actually compressed, and then it wasn't allowing this to move freely. Like I couldn't even do this with it. Going through and doing that, or replacing those. And the baler, it shouldn't take me too long. They're calling for rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The goal right now is it's blue sky and sunny. I think Dad's actually waiting on me. Hey, Kyla. Probably gonna go down and try to check some fence while the ground will hopefully is hopefully firm enough we can get down and do it. Now this chain I'm going to replace just because it's a nightmare. It stretches really bad. I mean, that's where it should be. And see how I can actually move that guy without hitting the chain. This one just keeps stretching, which it is what it is. But the one behind it actually isn't in too bad a condition. And this guy, I don't know if I'm gonna well, I am gonna replace it. The reason I'm gonna replace it is because look at that, the connector's gone on it. Looks like it's been, you know, been impacting, I'm gonna say right there. And I'm just gonna go through and change it. The spring tensioner, you can actually see that. Well, that's gonna be a judgment call, because you know what, I could actually go through and take, there's a connector here, there's a connector there, and there's actually a connector way up there. Could go through and actually break this and take a link or two out, and I got some room to work there as far as that tensioner goes. So running 2 balers, hopefully this one isn't going to see as much of the heavy use. We'll be splitting it up between the balers and being able to get everything done quicker. That's basically what it boils down to. The days where we used to make first cut over the course of 4 or 5 weeks and then spin right back around and start second cut and then third cut, it doesn't work. You're losing your material, you're losing tons to the acre, and as far as that goes, time is money. And being able to go through and knock down all of first cut, all of second, all of third cut, all within a few days of each other, and having the ability to go through and get it baled up in a short amount of time is very big. So after I get done with this, even if I don't even do the baler first, the 7600, the seat keeps settling down on me, so I might actually go through and tear that out and get a little violent with it and try to figure out where it's losing air. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys later.